In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the new Perplexity tool or node inside of N8N so your agent can access the internet and look up for up-to-date information. The first thing that you have to do is going into n8n.io. You're going to select to create a new project or a new workflow. And then something that I want to mention is that the key part is that in your workflows, you're going to have a trigger and you're going to have an action. So when something happens, then this workflow is going to start running. In this case, because we want to test it inside of N8N, we are just going to have a simple chat inside of N8N. So for this, we are going to select on chat message. This is going to be the trigger, which what it means is when we chat inside of N8N, when we say something, then something is going to happen. Now, you're going to see that we can open the chat and then we can say something like, hi. Nothing really is going to happen. We're just saying that this is trigger, but then we need to set up with the actions because we are going to try here to create an AI agent, an intelligent agent. What we are going to be doing is looking for AI agent. So I'm just going to select this plus button in here and I'm just going to be selecting AI agent. This is what is going to give it the intelligence. But there is a couple of caveats, which is now we need to assign three different things. So the first one is going to be the chat model or the LLM, which is the intelligence. So this can be OpenAI, this can be from Google, we have Gemini, we can have Claude, we can have different LLMs. Then we're going to have the memory. So this is so it's able to remember things. And then we're going to have the tool, which it will be kind of what we are going to have, the Perplexity tool. So let's set up each of them. So I'm just going to go back into here. Now we have the chat message and now we're going to go to the AI agent. You don't really have to change anything for now. I'm just going to mention later something that we are going to be adding into the properties, but that will be towards the end. So this is already fine because we are gathering the chat from the previous node, so it's totally fine. Now for the chat model, if you are in the trial, you will get 100 credits from OpenAI, which is amazing. So you can try all these for free. And if you already are past your trial, again, you could just have to connect with your credentials, so a specific API from each of them. For this case, we're just gonna go with the OpenAI, the chat model, and then we are gonna choose something that is really fast. It's not as advanced, but we are just gonna choose this GPT-4o mini model. Okay, perfect. So we have this model and now pretty much we don't have to do anything else, right? Now we have an AI agent that has intelligence into it. So now when we say hi in here, back again, now hopefully we're gonna get back an answer saying like, hey, how are you doing? Or something from the AI model. So I'm just gonna select hi, enter, and now you're seeing here we have, hello, how can I assist you today? Perfect. Now we have an AI agent that has intelligence, amazing. But if I ask something like, for example, what are the biggest news today? Let's see what it says. Most likely will say that it cannot really look that it is. I'm unable to provide real-time news updates as my knowledge only goes up to October 2021. So you are seeing here, other models that are more recent, like for example 4.1, it will probably have a knowledge cutoff of 2024, but still is not able to look up current events, right? So for those cases, or if you want content creation or marketing or your business operation, you probably will want to find the most current information. And for that, what we're going to be selecting is a specific tool, which is going to be Perplexity. Okay, so they added this node. So we have the Perplexity tool, and now you're just going to have to connect your account. How are you going to connect to your account? So you will go into Perplexity and then you will go into API keys. I'm not going to be clicking in there because it just shows the entire key, but then you will just grab those specific numbers, letters and numbers, and you will just put it into here to connect it. Perfect. Now we have all of that. What is the operation? Well, in this case, it's going to be messaging a model from Perplexity. So Perplexity has a bunch of different models. For this case, I'm just going to go with Sonar. Now, you can also go with Sonar Deep Research if you want even a more advanced one, or Sonar Pro. But for this test case, I'm just going to go with Sonar. That's a really good model still. And which text are we going to be having in Perplexity? Well, that text is going to come from the AI agent. So in this case, we can just go in here and then what is the message that we want to ask Perplexity? Well, in this case, it will be this one, right? Which is, what are your biggest news today? That is coming from the chat message. Perfect. That's why I actually run it first, because you want actually to be able to see it in here, so you can just as simple as drag and drop. Amazing. That's pretty much what I want as the text. And you can also add other things, but for now, I just want that. You can also add a message. But anyway, so we have this expression, which right now is all good. We're adding also memory, so it's able to also remember what we have been discussing. And the easiest way is just to go with simple memory. So I'm just gonna select what is a simple memory, and you can have a context window with the default, which is 5. That is okay. So I'm just gonna select back, and now we have an agent that is able to look into the internet, that is able to have memory, and pretty much is able to organize all of these things to the intelligence of OpenAI LLM. Okay, perfect. Now, what if we want to make it better? Because right now this AI agent, it can probably call this LLM, but it might not know that it actually has access to the internet. So what I'm going to be saying is putting custom instructions to this specific AI agent. And for that, what I'm going to be doing is selecting into it, and I'm going to be adding an option, which is system message. And right now it's your helpful assistant, which is great, but we want to add more things to it. For this case, what I'm going to be saying is that you are given Perplexity tool / node used when the user asks for current events web search. Okay, so we can do something like this. You can make it a lot better. I'm just doing it kind of fast in front of you, but you are given a Perplexity tool node user when the user asks for current events of web search. I think that should suffice. So I'm just gonna go back. So that's the system message. And now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna refresh everything. So I'm gonna say, hi, the biggest AI news this week. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this week, and hopefully we are gonna see now that it's gonna go first into the LLM to kind of, hey, what is happening? Amazing. I need to do a perplexity call, and I'm gonna gather the information back, and then I'm gonna output that information. So I'm just gonna hit enter, and it went there. Perfect. Now it's going into Perplexity. Amazing. And now it's actually gathering the information. And hopefully it does not say anymore that, hey, that was the news, or that I was unable to look up the news. Now it says perfect. So now, as you see, it's able to look up the internet, and now we have the AI adoption and deployment challenges, AI in education, generative AI and ethics, and all this stuff. Amazing. And for example, we can say something like, what's the weather? So let's actually, what's the weather Tampa, Florida, for example? Okay, today. Let's go with today, right? So I'm gonna hit enter, and hopefully, perfect. I don't have to say that, hey, this is a current event, right? Because it pretty much just says today, and it says today in Tampa, the weather is quite warm, whatever. So now you have an agent that is not only very, very intelligent, but is also able to look up for facts in the internet, which is amazing, right? But anyway, that concludes today's video. Hopefully you liked it, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.